D1NZ D1NZ, brought to you by TBC Performance Wheels, The Rock FM, Link ECU, High Tech Oils and Club Auto Insurance.
Welcome to the show. It's the final episode of the season, the final round, the title fight. Who will be the next Drift King?
You're watching the D1NZ D1NZ National Drifting Championship Series, the grand final at Pukekohe Raceway, one of the fastest drifting circuits in the world.
Well, after 5 rounds of grueling competition, it was the weather gods who would set the final battle scene. A wet track during the main competition would undo 2 days of dry practice and qualifying, the conditions serving up a lottery of entertainment.
On last week's show, we saw the top 32 bracket unfold, and it was championship drama straight away with a scrappy battle from series points leader Nico Reed going up against Gaz Grove. Grove causing an upset, knocking out the turbocharged Evergreen Tyres S15 and putting his CMP Construction V8 through to the top 16.
Despite the weather, it was a bumper crowd in force. It's time to hit pit lane with the drivers and Steve.
Well, hi everybody, welcome along to Pukekohe Raceway. It's the final round of the D1NZ D1NZ National Drifting Championship. It's grand final time and it's lunchtime, so it's pit walk time with STM. Kurt Whitaker, mate, Nico's battles are over and you're still in there. What's it going to take?
I don't know the numbers. We're just going to have to go hard and, we'll do what we can do. And anything can happen, so we're not going to get too carried away. We'll take it battle by battle. It is what it is. Unfortunate for Nico that he's out. Would have been good to have a real good title fight, but we'll carry on. So we'll go for that number one.
Yeah, quite a turn of events with Nico getting knocked out in the top 32. Now it's just really up to us. We just really have to bite down hard on and come out on top.
There's a big one to chalk off the list.
Yeah, he's the last person I wanted to knock out because Nico's such a good dude. But everyone's got to have their time to shine, and I've been working hard to drift. So yeah, it's my turn now.
It looks pretty scary out there in the wet. It mustn't have been easy to hold on to it coming into that mad entry.
Yeah, it's unpredictable out there. It's real dicey. But the car's hanging in there. It's a bit cosmetically ugly, but yeah, we'll patch it up to get out there and make it good.
Of course, we can't do what we do without our good friends here from Link ECU. Alan, you enjoying yourself here? Great to have you at Pukekohe.
I'm having great fun here. I love the rain. That's what I come here for.
He loves the rain. Well, you're from Christchurch. You get a lot of rain down there?
No, we don't have rain. We just have sunshine forever.
Link Engine Management. Look, let's go and give this away to somebody. Look, you need Link Engine Management goodies. Congratulations. Love from Link ECU. Of course, proud sponsors of the live stream at the D1NZ D1NZ National Drifting Championship.
Mate, it's so awesome how the teams here, the people here are just so willing to help out and get us on the track and put a show on for everyone and let us compete and do what we love doing. So I can't thank Ross at DDT down in Taranaki enough, mate. He's a legend and very thankful.
He's a legend. This man, next year, is going to be the legend. He's going to take the DK trophy. That's Cole Armstrong. Now, if we look at under the bonnet here, I can't see a big rubber band to a supercharger because it's not... Have I got the wrong car? Have I been calling it a VE all weekend and it's something else, Fang? It's Dan.
Yeah, no, this is the old VZ that we won a championship in 2013. So, we had to bring it out of retirement and, got into it, a couple of laps into it and straight into qualifying and, managed to pull a P1 in it.
Pros, mate, it's great to have you back. Of course, rain today, but those entries look insane.
Yeah, it's a lot different from Friday. We're hitting it at 202 Ks. In 5th, 4th, back to 3rd, but today we're keeping in 4th. Not coming in as hot. I want to try and build up speed. Hopefully, we got Darren Kelly next. I know he's good, and he's going to be a hard one to beat, so we're going to have to push very, very hard.
Dylan Woolhouse, mate, 198 kilometre an hour entry. Insane.
99.
Oh, 99, it's all about, but you corrected me on the one. Where was the other one to make it 200?
Yeah, I know, that does hurt deep down, but we'll get there.
So look, you're enjoying yourself, 10,000 fans out here, all enjoying drifting here in New Zealand.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. You just look at the people around, the track's amazing. A bit of a shame about the weather today, but never know, it could dry up this afternoon.
Darren Kelly, mate, it's the last day of being the Drift King.
Steve, yeah. Not ideal conditions again, unfortunately, but yesterday we had some good testing, good practice. This track's amazing in the dry, but unfortunate conditions today, but still out there doing it.
Thanks everybody for tuning in to the STM Pit Walk. Of course, proudly brought to you by Link ECU. It's time to head upstairs. We'll see you shortly.
Great stuff from Steve in pit lane. It's time now to knuckle down to business. Highlights of the top 16 bracket. Woolhouse and Donovan battling once again. Templeman and Dylan Woolhouse. Steedman and Tom Marshall and Baker and Grove for the left side of the tree.
On the right-hand side, it's Whitaker and Davies, Kelly and Prosnick, Joe Marshall and Giles, Armstrong and Wilkinson to finish off the top 16.
Highlights now of the top 16. Former champ Fanger Dan and Drew Donovan found themselves battling once again. The battle going OMT with a rerun and soaking wet conditions.
The Milwaukee Tools Nissan Silvia of Drew Donovan leading out Dan Morehouse in the Century Batteries Holden Commodore. It would be Donovan taking a spin before the first transition. An easy victory for Woolhouse through to the top 8.
High-Tech Oils replay, Donny D over-rotating, the wet conditions continuing to be a handful in the top 16.
Championship contender Damon Templeman in the NAC Insurance E46 BMW up against the NZKW C35 Laurel of Dylan Woolhouse. Woolhouse setting a new qualifying speed record here at Pukekohe.
Like Gaz Grove and Nico Reid, it would be another upset for the points race. Dylan Woolhouse taking a win through to the top 8.
High-Tech Oils replay, the supercharged V8 Laurel getting it right on the transition. Templeman washing out off the required race line.
Another top-up of rain kept the track soaked for the top 16. Dave Steedman and Tom Marshall bringing a battle of Turbo Silvias, the Mimico S14 RB30, putting in a strong lead run to take victory over the Evergreen Tyres S15.
Man of the moment, Gaz Grove in the CMP Construction S15 took another victory in the top 16. Stewie Baker in the Privateer, Nissan S13 bringing the speed, but it was too much for the wet conditions sliding off track to hand another victory to Gaz Grove.
V8 versus Rotary for Kurt Whitaker in the V8-powered Autoshore Skyline. Adam Davies leading in the Mimico 13B 180SX. Davies also sparing off track to hand an easy victory to Whitaker. Huge championship implications with both Nico Reid and Damon Templeman knocked out early.
Wheels in the dirt would be a common theme in the wet conditions. Australian international Michael Prosnick putting his supercharged V8 S13 off track, spinning out and finding the wall in the battle against series champion Darren Kelly.
In the second pass, it was no fear given. The fastest man in practice with a 202 km/h entry, going in hot and tagging the wall. Panels flying off with full throttle speedway recovery through the sand trap.
High-Tech Oils replay, Michael Prosnick unfazed, foot flat to keep off the wall. A big moment for the SCR S13, but it would be Darren Kelly taking an easy win through to the top 8.
Shane Giles would be another to find the wall during the battles. The Bytools Online Nissan S15 spinning out on entry with panels missing and bent steering on the front left. It would be Joe Marshall in the Evergreen Tyres 180SX taking victory.
Shane Giles stacking on the angle, over-rotating and tagging the rear of Joe Marshall's 180SX.
The final battle of the top 16 saw victory to Cole Armstrong in the V-Energy 250 GT Skyline. Ben Wilkinson giving chase in the Pack and Save Botany Downs Nissan S15. Armstrong setting a commanding lead to take victory into the top 8.
Stick around, we dive into the battles for the top 8. Welcome back to the D1NZ D1NZ National Drifting Championship Grand Final, Pukekohe.
Well, here is how the top 8 lines up, and it's Dan Woolhouse and Dylan Woolhouse, the cousins, together for the first time here at Pukekohe. Dave Steedman and Gaz Grove, Kurt Whitaker and Darren Kelly, and then we'll see Joe Marshall and Cole Armstrong, the battle of the RBs.
Well, the first battle of the top 8 sees Dave Steedman in the Ryco Mimico Nissan S14 up against Gaz Grove in the CMP Construction S15.
Yeah, both Silvias, but also two different engines. You got the V8 in the rear and then the RB30 out in front. Wet conditions here, unfazed both of these drivers. Gaz Grove, of course, one of those standout drivers in the rain last year, and doing a pretty good job so far here in the chase against Dave Steedman. Steedman, though, holding a bit of a even chase run there for in terms of the battle.
As we go to the second pass, Gaz Grove, of course, he's been the giant killer this weekend, knocking out the 4-round champion Nico Reid, causing a huge upset, holding onto the car superbly through these wet conditions.
Coming through the S's, it's almost a lottery for these drivers. It's like an ice skating ring. You know, drifters, they don't like the rain. They need as much grip as possible, just like any other circuit racing category. And unfortunately for Dave Steedman, it would be Gaz Grove going through with the victory.
The next battle, we see Joe Marshall versus Cole Armstrong, the Evergreen Tyres machine up front.
The V Energy 250 GT Skyline in the rear. Both RBs, Cole Armstrong running the RB30 DET, around 750 horsepower, though. They're not going to use it in these conditions. Look at this chase from Cole Armstrong up on that rear quarter. That's what we want to see in terms of proximity during the battles. Here we go, second pass.
Well, a wobble for Marshall and Chase. It's going to throw a huge advantage for the V Energy 250 GT of Cole Armstrong.
Yeah, Marshall on that wider line, though. Armstrong, though, he's got a bit of an advantage from that first run. Bit of a gap being created here now, but that could be a little bit false. Half of that gap was created with the difference in line on the sweeper, and I think we're going to see more of that with these conditions continuing. But look at that, a commanding lead from Cole Armstrong. Superb drive. V Energy 250 GT takes another victory.
Well, with Nico Reed finishing his round early, it's Kurt Whitaker's championship to try and secure the Autosure R34 Skyline up against the current Drift King, Darren Kelly.
Yeah, outgoing champion Darren Kelly hasn't had the best of seasons, so he came into the round with nothing to lose, and certainly the High-Tech Oils R34 Skyline looking good right now because Kurt Whitaker taking a bit of a spin here down in the final sector.
Well, that's going to be massive championship implications. Is that going to be enough for Nico Reed?
Yeah, that's right. Well, we're going to go to the second pass. What's going to happen here? Darren Kelly out in the lead. Kurt Whitaker at a huge disadvantage. Kurt Whitaker, though, now trying to claw back some points. He knows he's got that disadvantage hanging over him. He needs to impress the judges.
Well, for Kurt Whitaker, he's certainly going to be hoping that Darren Kelly causes a spin or an upset. But right now, he's holding on to that High-Tech Oils R34 Skyline.
Kurt Whitaker trying to close up on the rear quarter here, try and claw back as much points as he can, but with a spin, it's a 10-0 disadvantage. Darren Kelly taking another win here at Pukekohe and through to the top four.
It's the battle of the cousins. Fanger Dan Woolhouse and the Century Batteries Holden Commodore leading Dylan Woolhouse and the NZKW Laurel.
Fanger Dan, nothing to lose, another championship contender earlier on, but jumps in the old car here at Pukekohe, qualifies first, and unfazed by the rainy conditions. He's seen some conditions here over the years as one of the top dogs in the current series, but his cousin Dylan Woolhouse, the NZKW C35 Laurel, doing great this weekend. Of course, another one of those fast cars doing some good entries here this weekend. Fanger Dan, though, coming up on that rear quarter. What can Dylan Woolhouse pull out of the bag?
Well, contact between the two cousins, it sends the NZKW Laurel off into the dirt.
Well, a spin there for Dylan Woolhouse. We'll take a look at the High-Tech Oils replay. You'll see their contact made. Fanger Dan tagging the rear quarter. Now, obviously, if you cause contact, that's a disadvantage to yourself, causing the contact during the battle, and that hands an instant victory, I guess, to the lead car. But that could almost be a tough call to make because did Dylan Woolhouse stack on too much angle? Well, it doesn't matter. Either way, Woolhouse is through to the semi-finals.
So Dylan Woolhouse will go up against Gaz Grove. And in the other semi-final, we see the V Energy 250 GT of Cole Armstrong leading the current Drift King, Darren Kelly, in the R34 Skyline.
That's right, Steve. It's top four action here at Pukekohe Park Raceway. The semi-finals. Who's going to go through to battle for first and second? Well, that spot is up for grabs. And right now, Cole Armstrong is pulling an immense gap on Darren Kelly, who's just trailing off in the distance there. Onboard shot thanks to GoPro. The V Energy 250 GT pulling a big gap on Darren Kelly.
Well, it's going to be a huge advantage for Cole Armstrong in the 250 GT as we go to the second pass.
Wipers on for the chase car. Cole Armstrong sneaking up on that rear quarter. He's doing a much better job here than Kelly did in the chase run. Kelly, of course, the last round winner here in the wet last year, but Armstrong just coming through and looking very strong in the semi-finals, and he's going to close up on this rear quarter again.
Cole Armstrong, he hasn't won a round since round 2 last season. Can he do it at Pukekohe?
Well, the victory is in. Cole Armstrong, V Energy 250 GT through to the final here at Pukekohe.
Well, it's the second semi-final. Dylan Woolhouse in the NZKW Laurel versus Gaz Grove in the CMP Construction S15.
It's the battle of the V8s. We just saw the battle of the RB30, so it's V8 versus Turbo no matter what here for the Pukekohe Grand Final. Which one is it going to be? Will it be the supercharged LS of Dylan Woolhouse, or will it be the naturally aspirated LS of Gaz Grove? Gaz Grove looking fairly solid there in the chase run, but so too Dylan Woolhouse. He wants to prove himself and get into his first ever Pro Championship final.
Well, great onboard shots thanks to GoPro. It's the second half of the semi-final battle. Gaz Grove in the CMP Constructors S15 leading Dylan Woolhouse in the NZKW Laurel.
Wipers on for both these drivers. Not a lot of standing water left here now in the semi-finals, although still very wet track conditions. Oh, Gaz Grove stacks on the angle. He loops it, but the chase car, Dylan Woolhouse takes a spin. Gaz Grove in the dirt. Now the chase car has automatically awarded a victory with the lead car spinning out.
As we look at the High-Tech Oils replay, we see huge angle from the CMP Constructions S15, and then a courtesy spin, of course, with the NZKW Laurel of Woolhouse.
On board with Gaz Grove, stacks on the angle. He actually looks back to the passenger window, and I think that might have put him off a little bit.
Dylan Woolhouse through its final time after the break.
Welcome back to the Demon Energy D1NZ National Drifting Championship Series. It's the final rounds at Pukekohe Raceway. It's the battle for first and second and the battle for third and fourth.
Well, Dylan Woolhouse will go up against Cole Armstrong for the battle for first and second.
But first, it is the battle for third place. Our two drivers, V8 versus Turbo, Darren Kelly leading out on the High-Tech Oils R34 Skyline, going up against Gaz Grove in the CMP Construction V8.
Well, Gaz Grove trying to close up, get the proximity. We see a wheel off from the High-Tech Oils R34 Skyline. Will that be a points drop?
Gaz Grove all over Darren Kelly's rear quarter like white on rice. Although it's ice on the track, I don't know why I'm trying to write things, but wipers on. Darren Kelly cannot fend off the CMP Construction S15. I'm going to call advantage to Gaz Grove.
Well, Gaz Grove has certainly had one of the greatest weekends of his drifting career today, knocking out Nico Reed earlier on, but he's got the defending champion Darren Kelly in chase.
Yeah, it's a tough weekend when you think about what's going on behind him. He stacks on the angle again, but he saves it. He does the same transition as in the last battle, but unfortunately that's probably going to mark him down, and this is probably going to mix things up here. It's going to be an even battle from both of these drivers. Darren Kelly going to hold on and push this to an OMT.
As we see thousands in attendance at Pukekohe Raceway Park, the one more time battle riding on board thanks to GoPro. Who's it going to be?
Even though it's wet, these boys are still trying to push 180 kilometres an hour. Wipers on, the CMP Construction S15 trying to, I guess, redeem himself after making that mistake. Darren Kelly not on the required line despite the proximity gap, but he's the outgoing champion. The High-Tech Oils R34 putting a bit of a gap now on Gaz Grove, but Gaz Grove tries to sneak things back. It's a bit of a scrappy pass though, so I'm still going to call it a bit even.
As we go to the second pass, Gaz Grove and the CMP Constructions S15 Sylvia going up against the R34 Skyline of defending Drift King Darren Kelly.
Darren Kelly yet again in the top four here at Pukekohe in the wet. Seems to be a bit of a wet master, but Gaz Grove, oh, there's contact, and just as I was giving praise to Darren Kelly driving in the wet, it's commentator's curse. Gaz Grove touches the wall, be a bit of damage there up the front, but it's the final battle for these two, and I think Gaz Grove is going to take this one by default with contact caused by Darren Kelly chewing on his bumper. We'll take a look at the High-Tech Oils replay.
So huge angle stacked on by the High-Tech Oils R34 Skyline of Darren Kelly. Contact made between them. Gaz Grove parked in the wall.
Well, Gaz Grove will take another shot here on the replay. And you can just see the contact made. Gaz Grove knows he's just a passenger. Regardless, he'll take third place, a trophy for the cabinet. Gaz Grove takes third place here at Pukekohe.
Well, it's final time at the grand final at Pukekohe Raceway Park. The V-Energy 250 GT of Cole Armstrong up against Dylan Woolhouse in the NZKW C35 Laurel, his first ever final.
Another V8 versus Turbo battle, and Cole Armstrong again just putting on these really good lead runs. Dylan Woolhouse, though, trying to match the line, trying to get his points in the angle and the rest of the criteria the judges want to see, but that's a big gap to Cole Armstrong.
Well, Pro Championship rookie Dylan Woolhouse, his first ever final. He stepped up it with the big boys this year.
He's also stepped up his line. He's taking a huge wide line on the sweeper. It's what the judges want to see, but unfortunately, I think there's a little bit more grip being generated out there. There's not a lot of standing water anymore, but Cole Armstrong's capitalized out of this, and he's going to take a huge advantage and go on his way to take his first ever victory here at Pukekohe. Arm out the window. He knows it. Cole Armstrong takes victory for round 6.
Well, it's a grand final in the Demon Energy D1NZ National Drifting Championship celebration time.
Dylan Woolhouse coming in second, Gaz Grove in third, and the man of the moment, Cole Armstrong, the V-Energy 250 GT Skyline, coming home in first place, a win for the Turbos.
All right, Cole Armstrong, number one round winner here at Pukekohe Raceway, round 6 of the D1NZ Championship Series.
Yeah, mate, pretty stoked. It's been a roller coaster of a year. We've had a cranklet go, Ross Honor, DDT, that boy's the man. Pulled that motor for us to get us back here, and I'm so wrapped. I've been here a fair few times, and come second, come third. We got the first ripper.
Well, with a round win, it bumps Cole Armstrong into third position in the championship.
Well, looking at the final points, it's Kurt Whitaker that scrapes on through to take victory here at Pukekohe, 371 down to Nico Reid in 366.
Cole Armstrong in third position. Nico Reid, he may not be the Drift King, but he's certainly the People's Champion.
Nico Reid, rewriting the history books. You're going to immortalise your name in New Zealand drifting. Second place, the Evergreen Ties S15. You did it out there.
Yeah, it's definitely good, to be standing next to, former idols that I looked up to, Kurt and Cole, and the names that got me into the sport, and I don't think it's any better than standing there in second place next to those fellas.
To finish first you have to finish. Consistency certainly paid off for the Autosure Insurance driver, Kurt Whitaker, taking home his second Drift King title.
His second ever championship. He did it with the 2JZ, he did it with the Turbo, now he's done it with the V8. Darren Kelly, outgoing champion, as tradition, handing over the trophy and celebrating with the podium.
All right, Kurt Whitaker, two-time champion for New Zealand.
Oh, I never thought I'd hear you say that, Kenny, but working, man, like this is to do it the second time is definitely the hardest, and take my hat off to Gaz. I don't know how he's done it 4 times, but you get hungry for it. Once you've had it, you want it again, it's a dream come true again, to win it once was the goal, but to come and do it again is unbelievable. So real happy, couldn't be happier with the car and the crew, and I couldn't do it without any of them, and I'm just ecstatic. We've got a lot of people to celebrate with, and I'm just so happy it's working.
Well, congratulations to Kurt Whitaker and the Rattler Motorsport team. It's champagne showers and burnouts, the grand final at Pukekohe.
We finally get to see some smoke to end the day and end the season. It's been a wild one, 6 rounds across New Zealand, thousands of tyres, but there can only be one Drift King.
And that Drift King driving the Autosure New Zealand R34 Skyline is Kurt Whitaker.
It's been a wild season. Cheers for tuning in and watching it. If you want to see more D1NZ action, check out D1NZ.com.